My name is Emma, and right now we will run through the best practices and getting set up with material takeoffs and then converting those into estimates. So we will run through how to create a takeoff, setting up templates and adding a few demo examples of concretes and cladding, roofing, so you can see what's available and how to actually apply that in your project's takeoff. We will then convert this into an estimate and send it to your client. To access your takeoff tool, hop into your project and click on takeoffs in your left-hand bar, and that'll give you the option to upload a PDF file from your computer. So all I'm going to do is click on upload, search through my files and upload the plan that I'm after. Once that's been attached, we'll go ahead and click on create and continue. You will also be able to upload multiple plans at once. A quick tip is to ensure that you're only uploading your floor plans, elevations, or anything else needed for your material takeoff rather than any other supported documentation, because often documentation can reach up to about 50 pages of text bodies, so it just helps, upload files quicker and allows you to focus on what you need for your actual takeoff. So this is what the takeoff tool looks like. So you can see your uploaded PDF pages are on the left. Your measurements, which will auto-populate as you go, will be in a collapsible menu in the top right, and your tools are across the top. Before we start measuring, let's check the page scale in the bottom left. So the default will be 1 to 100 metric, but you can always edit this if you need to. So you can choose from the bottom left desired scale, and the plans will calibrate if you come in and alter any measurements that you've made. So let's dive in. For the first example, let's work out the material needed for a construction slab. What I'm going to do is actually zoom in and measure up this garage. So what I'm going to do is click on my polygon tool at the very top and use this to measure my area. So the polygon and rectangle tool allow you to measure an area of space. Once I've got my selected tool, I'm going to go in and create a new group. So from this drop down, we have multiple groups that I've created. So I'd recommend coming in and creating a group, giving it a title, for example, concrete slab, assigning a color, and adding this to your favorites. By doing this, what you're doing is saving this group into the library within Takeoff, so I can use this group again across any other project and Takeoff. So it's just going to save you time in the long run. Once I've got my tool, what I'm going to do is click on my starting point, click on each corner until I measured my whole room. Once I've reached my start point, what I'm going to do is double click to lock that in. Now you can see in the top right, we've got our first measurement for our concrete slab. So what I'm going to actually do is, if I need to, click on the new measurement I've got and rename that. What I'm actually doing is measuring that concrete slab, so what I want to actually do is get the volume of concrete. So what you can do is click on the cube, and that's going to allow you to add in the height, depth, or pitch of your measurement. So I'm adding in the depth of my concrete slab as 100 mils, so 0.1 of a meter. Then I'm going to go ahead, click on done, and I can see my updated quantity. A quick tip is if your measurements have a highlighted blue cube, this means that you've either added in height, depth, or pitch, which is included in your total measurement. Next example, let's measure drywall. So what I'm going to do is go into my next tool of length, go into the area I'm after, and I'm going to grab a linear measurement. So all I'm going to do, same as before, is click on my start point, click as you go, and then once you've done that, double click to finish. As you can see now in the top right, I've got my new drywall. So I'm going to go ahead and rename it just as an example. Yeah. So this is giving my linear measurement, but again, I need meters squared. So what I'm going to do is click on that cube and add in the height of my wall, let's say 2.7 meters. Click on done, and that's going to give me the total square meterage of drywall that I need. Next, let's go ahead and use the count tool. So this is going to allow you to count for the amount of items that you need. For example, a GPO, general power outlet, toilets, doors, windows, anything you need to count really. So just select the group that you're after again, and then literally click on the floor plan where you want these to go. So again, you can do this for your single page, or you can count them across multiple pages as well. So let's figure out how to add in a roof. So I'm going to grab the rectangle shape, as on this plan my roof is perfectly symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is measure the space I need here. So what I'm going to do is click on my starting point. Again, you can change the group. Let's add in a new group together. Roofing, give it a color, add to my favorites. So I'm just going to grab my start point and drag to my finish. And here I'm going to call it House 1. With my roof, what I want to do is add in the pitch. So again, I'm going to click on that cube and I'm going to add a pitch of, let's say, 15 degrees. And that's going to give me my total measurement for that roof. So if you're doing a bigger area or need to measure rafters for order materials, it makes your life a lot easier, especially now that we need to know how much material is needed and plan ahead on what you actually need to order. In this last example, let's cover how to measure external cladding. So timber framing, bricks, whatever you need. To do this, what we're going to do is use the polygon tool again. What I'm going to do is actually zoom in a little bit. Grab my polygon tool, change my group, and again, just click on my start point, click as I go, and then double click on that last point to lock that in. So what I want to actually do is use the deduct tool at the top to remove things I don't want. For example, my windows and my doors, because I don't need that included in the total material I need to order. So with the deduct tool, just click and drag on the total space that you need. So this deducts the area from that total polygon measurement. So easy, just cut off the areas you don't need. So that's how you go about using all of your measurement tools, looking at all the measurements you've got, and flicking across each pages as well. So let's convert all of this into a measurement. So do so by clicking Review and Estimate in the top right hand corner. And this gives you a summary of everything in a takeoff that you have just measured. So here we've got 3 options. Top left, we've got back to measure. So this is handy if you've missed something or you want to go back and edit. Top right is email markups. So this will email you a copy of the plans that you've just measured with a measurement of colors, groups, comments, and then start new estimate, which is what we'll do now. So if I click on Start New Estimate, this is going to give me 2 options. So first, we can combine these groups. For example, if you've got maybe external cladding on 4 pages because each elevation was uploaded on a separate page that you've measured, rather than having 4 line items of your cladding material on your estimate, it'll combine all of the material for cladding onto 1 line item. Keeping them separate is exactly that, just not combining these groups. I'm going to go ahead and combine them and click Next, and that's going to generate that estimate automatically for me. So we'll give that one a second. And this is how it looks in Houzz Pro. So we've now got a Houzz Pro estimate created, and we've got all of our line items added, and you can go forward, edit, preview and share, and send this to your client. Before we send this to our client, I just want to walk through things you can do with this estimate. So first, what we've got is the option to actually edit the document. So what we can do is tell our client that I want this document to be either paid or approved on a certain date. I can give my document a custom title. For example, instead of estimate, maybe I want it to say quote. I've got my document title, which is my project name. I've got the document owner from within my team members, and I've got a custom document code, which is going to centralize just here on our document. Once I click save, that'll rename or make all of the changes that we need. And we can then go ahead and scroll down and start editing our line items. What we've got in the top right is the option to click on settings and maybe hide the description of each line item. We can allow images to be supported for each line item. And if needed, what we can actually do is manage our columns. So if some maybe categories take priority, what we can do is either turn them off or reshuffle in a different order. And that's going to filter through on our estimate here. If we scroll down to each of our line items, we can add in a description. We can edit what is already there. We can add in a markup across all of our line items by clicking on the markup title or interacting per line item by adding in a fixed percentage or a fixed amount. For example, $20 for that line item, or clicking an overall percentage of 15% across all my line items. What I'm going to actually do here is start adding in my cost. So for concrete slab, you charge X amount. You can go in, start adding in all your information. Once you've customized your line items, you can scroll down to the bottom of the document, add in another line item, start creating payment schedules. So my document's total is $9,500, but I want that split up into 2 payments. So I'm going to click on schedule a payment twice. The first payment, I'm going to call it deposit. Second payment, I'm going to call remaining balance. And I'm going to split up the amount as well. So I don't want it split equally. What I actually want is maybe a 70% deposit initial, and then the remaining amount after that. And you can actually let your client know that I want this due in 2 weeks and I want the remaining amount due at the end of the project. Below that, I've got my terms and conditions, which have been set up through my templates. I can upload any files. So perhaps I've actually gone back into the email markups and I want to attach it to this document. I've got that option here. I've got my memo, and I've actually given my client the option to e-sign this document once it's been approved. So that way, just backs yourself up a little bit if the client changes their mind down the track. If I scroll down a little bit more, I've got my activity stream. So this keeps track of when your clients open the document, when they've approved it, signed it, when you've logged payment, any interaction, it's all logged in your activity stream. You've also got the option on your estimate to collapse these menus to have a more organized view of what you're looking at, and if needed, change the order of these items. Once you've done all of that, you've got the More Actions option in the top right. So if you're approving this for your client, you've got the option to do that on their behalf. You can go ahead and approve per line item. So if some items you're ready to order, you can go ahead and decline or approve for your client's behalf. You can save them or go ahead and submit it through. You've also got options, for example, duplicating and editing, creating a template, preview and sharing, or even export as a PDF. At this stage, what I'm going to do is click on preview and share in the top right hand corner to see exactly what the client sees and change up my document settings before I send this off. So at the moment, I'm previewing exactly what the client's going to see. At this point, I can go in and show my client certain pieces of information, give them the option to approve per line item or just e-sign. What I can do here is go ahead and click on share in the top right hand corner, send this via email to my client or send it as a link. Here I've got the opportunity to export it as a PDF as well, or a handy quick link if you want to copy the link of your document and send it to your client on the spot. I hope this gives you an idea of the capability of the Takeoff tool, saving you hours of work and seamlessly sending this to your client all within Houzz Pro. Thank you for watching.